So what we're doing here is we're going to make a schedule for our made up college experience, which is something you're going to have to do when you go to your real college experience is make your own schedule. This is something that I did when we started distance learning, and something I hope you did when you started your distance learning experience, where you kind of had to chunk out your day. What I would recommend you do first is take care of your classes because you don't have any control over when your classes are. After you've taken care of your classes, think about when you want to eat. But you want to make sure you have time to eat meals throughout the day, and it's very important to eat to take those breaks. So you want to figure out when you need to eat. Next, I would have you figure out when you need to study. Studying is going to be your second most time consuming thing. So figure out when you want to study outside of those times because you also have a little less control over that as well. Since your professors are going to decide when their office hours are and you want to stop by their office hours at least once while you're studying, if you or at least have the opportunity to. And then the last thing you want to take care of is your work. In our made up scenario, we have complete freedom with our work hours. So we're going to say that's the last thing that we want to worry about. So once again, the short order is take care of your classes, then your meals, then your studying, and finally your work schedule. Okay. So how this form works is it's actually smart. It's got a bunch of formulas in it in order to help you figure out everything that you need for it. And it's got your syllabi over here on the side. So let's say we were taking care of English first. So I'm going to open up my English syllabus. Actually got it up here. So I'm going to get rid of that. Uh, First thing that we want to take care of with our English class is our actual class times. And it's 9:30 to 10:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we want to put that into our schedule. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we need to put in our English class. It starts at 9:30. So we would type in English class. And I can tell that I typed it correctly because it turned yellow. If, say, I misspelled it, that didn't turn yellow, so that's telling me it's not quite working in our formulas. So we want to make sure that we do type it correctly so it does turn yellow. But it does go until 10:30. So it is at 10 o'clock, we are still in English class. So I want to copy that and then paste that. And now I've got my nice English class. Don't copy the ones over here. It breaks it a little bit. So don't do those ones. Just copy them from over here if you've typed it once. So 9:30 and 10:30. By 10:30, we're no longer in English class, so we don't have anything at this time. We go to 30 once again. Thursday, once again, 9:30. We got English class. Type English. You can see it turned yellow, so we did the right thing. And it'll start to also recognize something that happened above. So English class, English class. That's taken care of. And then you move on to history class. So our history class. Oh, I don't need this. Our history class is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 to 10. So I'm going to put in my history class on those times. So Monday from 9 to 10, I have history class. And I'm better at spelling that. Okay, it turned orange, which is a different color than English, but I can tell that it's working in my formulas because I've typed that in. Because it turned colors, not because I typed it. So from 9:30, we're still in English class, but by 10 o'clock, we're done with history class. We're not done with English class. We're done with history class by 10 o'clock because it's only an hour-long class, so it takes 2 blocks. Each one of these blocks is 30 minutes. You'll do the same thing over here, history class, history class. And it also happens on Friday, so we'll tack it on there too. There we are. So we put in our history class, we put in our English class, and then you would continue on this path into the other ones. After we put in those other classes, I'm not going to do all 4 of your classes here. You would start worrying about your meals. So we want to have lunch at some point. Maybe we decide that we're going to have lunch at. Right now, I have my lunches at 11:30, so I'm going to do 11:30. So I'm just going to type in lunch. And you'll notice that it turns purple, so we know it's kind of being added to our lunch schedule. Maybe we have another lunch here, another lunch here. I think one of the days you do have class on one of these times, so you might not necessarily want to do all of these at these times. We also want lunch on Saturday and Sunday. Let's just keep doing lunch on these days. So we've got our 3 meals a day, and you can tell right now our average, we have 1 meal a day because we have scheduled lunch for all 7 of the days of the week. Let's see, on the weekdays, I want to do breakfast in the morning. So here, I'm just going to copy and paste these ones. So here's all my breakfasts. You can tell that it's working because it's turning purple, so it is being added to the appropriate category. The colors are there to help you indicate what's going on. On the weekends, though, I want to sleep in, so I want my breakfast a little bit later. And then you should also plan a dinner. Maybe you want, I have my dinners at 5:30, so I'm going to put my dinners at 5:30. And I'm just going to copy that all the way across. All right, so I've got all my dinners planned. Next thing I need to worry about is study time. So I need to appropriately give some time to study. So English class, you can see our English class, we have 2 hours of English class over the course of this week. So we need 2 to 3 times that of study time. That means we need between 4 and 6 hours study time for English. So we're going to look for some times that we want to do English. So you know what? Right after I'm done with English, I want to study for English. So I'm going to do English study right after English class every day. Okay, so that's gotten me an hour of English done. I think I'm going to have a little block of English after lunch on Sundays. I'm going to just make sure I've got an hour of study time for English. I'm probably going to maybe do, and you can see how there's a little flexibility with this. I want to do an English study here and there. So now I'm up to 2 hours of English study time. I need at least 2 more hours. I'm going to go to my English syllabus to figure out, okay, well, when is the professor's study office hours? So between 11 and 12:30 Monday and Wednesday, and 4 to 4:30 on Mondays, and 1:30 to 3:30 on Tuesdays. Okay, I'm kind of interested in that Monday Wednesday time slot, that 11 to 12:30. Let's see, Monday and Wednesday, 11 to 12:30. So right in here, that's when the office hours are open. You know what? I want to make sure I'm in there right away, um, right when they start. So I'm just gonna put some right there. In fact, I'm gonna take my lunch and I'm gonna bump it down. I'm gonna bump my lunch back a half hour on those days, and I'm gonna make sure I study for an hour and then go to lunch. Um, on these 2 days, because then I can like study with my professor for a little while if I want, or I can study in my another space and then go to lunch. And at that point, I've got my 4 hours for my English study, and I've allotted for some time to meet with my professor for that studying time. Last thing, I just need a chunk of time to work. So I need 20 hours of work. So I want to work in the evenings. I'm going to work like a big block here. So I'm just going to do a big block of work right here. So I'm just going to do like a 4 hour chunk on Saturdays. So it's 4.5 hours. That's more than I wanted. So I'm just going to take off this last one. There we go. I've got like 4 hours of work. I would continue through my schedule and add on some more things, some more time for work, time for studying for my other courses, and also times for sleep. You'll notice that there's a big chunk of sleep down here. You can sleep late, go to bed later than that, and you can wake up earlier. I mean, sleep in later. So right now we're assuming we're waking up at 6. This is a lot to kind of give you all at once. I recommend you kind of work through it in pieces and then come back to this video as you need. I'll also be in Zoom chat and be able to answer any questions that you have. But that's how this formula thing works. Let me know if you have questions. It can be a little buggy, but it should be a nice way to figure out your schedule for college. Thanks for watching.